Hello, Clint here, Crimson Landscape, here to talk about your landscape. Alrighty. Sorry it took a little longer than expected. A lot happened since I got back from vacation, so getting caught up. Okay, so I kind of followed your existing theme and kind of plants you liked. So I tried incorporating a couple plants that you already had in this. Just kind of make a decision of where it makes sense. I'll name the plant and talk about what you can substitute from what you have into this design. So let me start on the left side of the house. This is conceptual, so it is pretty close to scale, but obviously there could be some inconsistencies once we come layout. The landscape, things may not fit exactly as per the design. It'll be pretty close though. It's just always the realities of the ground. Sometimes they find pipes, hidden shutoffs, things like that we have to work around. All right, left side of the house, I would keep it super simple. Nothing fancy. It's kind of a dead space. I would go with dwarf Yulpon hollies. Low maintenance, easy to maintain. Just really don't die. They do okay in the shade. I would just space them out a little bit so it fills the space quite nicely. These two plants here, these are bridal spireas, also called double white spireas. They get nice and full and beautiful big bright white blooms in the spring. Cannot put anything in front of the meter per code, so it has to be small there. So that's why I just went with these simple holly ferns, or you could do wood ferns. Wood ferns are my favorite of the ferns. Holly ferns do a little bit better in the cold weather. Then right here, I would just because it is kind of a dead space and you want to pop a color at distance, hostas are a great choice for this. I would get 2 or 3 different flavors and just pop them in there and let them fill in as need be. They're going to die back in winter. I would treat a hosta like a bulb. They come back every year. They don't die. Easy to maintain. It's just when they die back in winter, you just cut them, clip them to the ground level, and in the spring they grow back nice and beautiful. I love my hostas. So what I mean color at distance, so when you come out at a distance, as you're in your circle, you can see that you can still see the pops of color. You have kind of your big wall of green here, then you see the pop of color right there. That's what I mean, color at a distance. In front here, Japanese maple in the corner to anchor the house. These are variegated liripe, nice pop of color, do well in the shade. I reused your giant liripe in the back. Endless summer hydrangeas here. Then this is another giant liripe here. I know you have some giant liripes. I can't recall exactly how many you have, but we can try to reuse those. Yopon holly, or this could be your Indian hawthorns that you have existing. A couple nandinas in front. I don't want anything to really block the hydrangeas because you want the fullness of the hydrangeas, but these are good space fillers. They don't get very big. And you want something evergreen in the winter. The plants in the back will turn to sticks in winter just because they're hydrangeas. Reused azaleas here as anchoring along the door, then simple variegated liripe. Variegated liripe is my go-to plant for color, but again, it comes to distance. As you can see, you still see that pop of kind of bright yellowish light green color. Right side is kind of a repeat of the left side. You can see everything's kind of nice and wild, lots of color, but symmetry seems to make sense for this area to match the other side for your particular application. Then on the corner, I went with a different Japanese maple. This is called a coral bark, Coral, coral bark Japanese maple. That you'll get a nice red tone to the bark during winter when the leaves fall off. And these are just daylilies. This area gets a lot of sun, so I would just pack a daylily, something that gets a nice, beautiful big bloom. Then along the back, you can do 2 things. We can do just a simple shrub in the back, like a Indian hawthorn or dwarf Yopon holly. Or we could do, what am I thinking? What I have here is the giant liripe. So let me zoom out, let you see this at a distance. There you go, we should see at street level. Let me zoom in. I've voiced my concerns with you on azaleas. I am not a huge fan of azaleas. Just know when you plant azaleas, you may get 1, 2, 3 seasons out of them. You're rolling the dice with azaleas. Let me show you what it looks like at night real fast. We always quote lights, so no matter what, you have lights in the quote. And so you can see what it looks like with lights. And I put lights down the side of the house here for security. And of course, lights in front. These are RGBW, color changing lights. RGBW stands for red, green, blue, white. So we give you a remote with each light, with one remote for the whole light system. And you just walk up to the light and you change its color. So if you want red, white, and blue for, let's say, Veterans Day, or if you want green and red for Christmas or something like that. I don't think they have a pink. I know they have a light blue for prostate cancer. I don't think they have a pink for breast cancer awareness. So it's just things like that that if you want to kind of show, be a little bit more flashier with the lights. Okay, that was a mouthful. All right, come over to the right side. As you see here, this would be that back along the house. So I went with kind of an English garden theme in that space because you get a little bit more sun back there. This is more my style landscape where it's a little bit fuller, things are a little bit tighter, a lot more pops of color, a lot more perennials. So Rose Creek Abelia, a daylily, Prostrata rosemary, not prostate, Salvia greggii, or autumn sage. This is color guard yucca, then a Yopon holly, or a Indian hawthorn, your choice. Then the pattern repeats. The only addition over here, this could be like a giant liripe, or it could be something like that, some sort of ornamental grass. It's pretty simple. Then in that little area by the pool, I would just pick up some really hardy perennials in a little small area by the pool. Okay, going into winter, we don't plant 1 gallons on most plants. Most plants will plant a 3-gallon minimum. So when we quote things, we'll quote 3 gallon, 3 gallon, 3 gallon, 3 gallon, 3 gallon, 1 gallon, because this only comes in 1 gallon. Everything's in the front, like for example, over here, it'd be the same. If we quote, it'll be 1 gallon, 3 gallon, 3 gallon, 3 gallon. These only come in 1 gallon. No, I take that back. We can get these in 3 gallon if they have in stock. Azaleas will be 3 gallons. So going into winter, a 3-gallon plant has a sturdier root structure than a 1 gallon for some of the plants. So if you want a real small plant like this Yopon holly, I would never install a 1 gallon. It's just not worth it. The risk is too high. Planting this time of year is fine. The risk of plants dying in winter if you're planting this time of year is crazy low. It's a rarity. We have to warranty plants, and it's a rarity because most of our effort is spent in preparing the landscape, dirt, bedding soil, and aerating everything to make sure it's properly installed, or the base materials set correctly for proper installation. Then we would use just a natural steel edge, nothing painted, something kind of fades in the landscape, then a nice brown hardwood mulch. Then, of course, make sure your sprinkler system's working correctly. Make sure we didn't impact any of the drainage. Installation time for this whole process, 1 day, raining out in a day. Won't take very long. All right, let me pause there. I'll send this over to you. You take a look at it. If you have any changes or concerns, you just drop me an email. We'll make those changes for you. Then from there, we'll send you a quote for everything. The quote will be, it'll have every plant listed. It'll be a la carte, so you can check and uncheck things you like or don't like, and you can make notes on the quote. So if you want to change plants out, you certainly can if you have your certain preference. From contract signature to installation is typically 2 weeks. We couldn't get it done before Halloween, I wouldn't think, but we can certainly get it done probably the first week in November. And again, it's a great time to plant. All right, let me pause there, and I'm going to send this over to you. If you're a first-time guest checking out one of our design videos, you can go to our website at crimsonlandscape.com.